Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
50, plant. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Play. Fire.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Operating from the gun, Whitaker. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Whitaker going for the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bilal Nichols. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Throwing on third and long. Farley. And he comes back with one complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Davis now to return it. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Off the play fake, Whitaker. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Point after here coming up. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead at 7-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Here we go. Snap.
From the gun, Whitaker. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe when they're looking some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Throwing on 1st down. Whitaker got his man complete over the middle. It's Tyler. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, ball's out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync. And it is true, you can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, able to avoid him. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and now it's 2nd down. Throwing again, Farley. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Mike 22, Mike 22. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Mike 22, he's coming. 22.
Looking to throw. Farley. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They'll try and throw for it here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. And they give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. These two teams all tied after one. Right back to him on first down. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into...
And it's a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down.
Check 9, check 9. Kill. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
They run. It's Johnson. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the ground, this is Johnson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Farley. Flushed out right. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. It was a solid check down there with pressure coming, wasn't it?
It was, because you're trying to go through your progression, and when you have that type of pressure in your face, it changes what you're doing and how fast you have to do your reads, and able to come back and find him in open space. That's a really nice play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, yeah. Backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable game.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
Check 50, check 50. SOS.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's
I am.
Miles, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions have taken the lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Well, now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. Second down and inches. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Looking to throw. Whitaker underneath to Davis. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Like 22, he's coming, 23.
Operating from the gun, Farley. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
56 is the mic. 56 is the mic. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Throwing again on second and 10. Farley, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks so much. We'll get back to you and Charles in Detroit in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at what's following our 2 games later today. As far as the early games go on Sunday, we'll have our eye on Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. A big one for the Chiefs as they'll get set to tangle with the Minnesota Vikings. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window. One being out in Oakland, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Cleveland Browns. And then one more to highlight. Monday Night Football. That'll be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 2-6, 26, bang, 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 set up.
On first and 10, Farley forced out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's the backup, Jacoby Brissett, flush to his right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And to give this time to the tailback. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On first down, Whitaker. Quick hitter here, it's complete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Off play action. Whitaker on the crossing route, complete. That's Banks. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Offense.
Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Down, 18 Gator. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Ready?
After the penalty, it's Davis. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Whitaker.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4.
56 to Mike.
We're set on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now...
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. From 4 yards out, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. Well, what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you. Switch it. Shift. Whip.
Again, it's Johnson. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Throwing right, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11.
Mike 22. Watch the run. Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike.
Brissett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The
amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He's checking crack. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down and 4. Brissett firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards there and a first down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Here we go. Here we go. Now the wolf. Drop dead. Go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Alert. Alert. 3 down. 3 down.
Brissett. And his throw is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Dancing to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Smart play to get rid of it there, but now it's 4th down. Your margin for error pretty much out the window.
That means you have to come up with a big-time throw here and a completion in order to keep this 2-minute drive going.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
So now the Bears down by a field goal. A minute 16 remaining. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the draw, this is Davis. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Big hit.
They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now just 1 more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Whitaker. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Now that's just simply good coaching and excellent technique on that play. You know why? Because everyone wants to rush the passer when they want to throw the football, but you're not always going to get there. So what are you taught to do? When the ball's finally thrown, get your hands up in the passing lanes, and they batted that one away.
No. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Hatchet. 23.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Sponge. No. Joker.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Gotcha, boy.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 44, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Here we go. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
22's coming, Mike.
Here's Brissett. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. I'm coming.
Now Brissett. Going up top. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead, or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun.
Tighten up. Watch the safety creep.
Brissett to throw for it on 4th. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Brissett looks to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin. That'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing. Brissett. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Detroit, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.